Do you need a prenup? This video is meant to be fun, and we're going to walk through many questions that our users have, which help them decide whether or not they need a prenup. Spoiler alert, in most situations, you're probably going to need a prenup.
We highly recommend that you talk to an attorney for your specific situation.
And please keep in mind, this video is in no way intended to be legal advice. We are not acting as your attorney, and realistically, we probably can't tell you whether or not you actually need a prenup. Hey, Sarah Beth, are you engaged?
I am. Thank you very much.
Me too! Ah! If you're engaged, do you think you need a prenup?
I don't know. Do I?
We'll find out. Do you and your fiance plan to get a divorce in the future?
No, of course not. We're gonna stay together forever.
Newsflash, almost half of marriages in the United States end in divorce. Right now is a good time to discuss potential unforeseen circumstances like death, divorce, all of that fun stuff with a prenup. Are you a fortune teller and can you see the future?
Let me think. It's crystal clear, baby.
Then you probably already know that you need a prenup. Are you and your fiance both working?
Yes, we are.
Double the trouble. With both of you working, it's important to decide if your prenup is going to keep both incomes separate or if income is going to become marital or community property once you're married. How will you decide whose wealth is whose? So, do you ever plan to retire?
We are counting down the days.
Retirement accounts, financial planning, and all assets related to retirement should be considered separate or marital property. Have you had a discussion on what will be considered what? So, do you have any assets that you're entering the marriage with?
Well, I don't own a house, but I do have some Bitcoin.
Prenups rule for partners who have accumulated at least a few assets. It helps give clarity into what will happen to those assets while you're married, if a divorce is going to occur, and what will happen if your spouse dies. Are your incomes relatively similar, or does one of you make more than the other?
Well, he does call me his sugar mama. I'm rich, bitch. Actually, on second thought, we're kind of similar.
What happens if one of you becomes wealthier than the other? Are bills split relative to income? Is additional wealth considered marital or separate property? These are things that you need to discuss. This is a really important question, Sarah Beth. Are either of you business owners?
Well, I am an entrepreneur. I do work on a small company
What is
called...
it called? HelloPrenup? Are either of you going to get an inheritance?
Well, I wish I was, but my fiance's gonna be rolling in the dough.
If you would like inheritance to be considered separate property, then you should list it as such on your financial schedule and throughout your prenuptial agreement. Certain states believe that inheritance should be completely separate, while other states view inheritance received during the marriage to be marital or community property. So it is very important that you list this out on your prenuptial agreement after you and your fiance have discussed how you would like to view inheritance. Is this a second marriage for either of you?
Thank gosh it's not. But my parents are divorced. You gotta plan for anything, huh?
So you've seen how rough divorce can be, huh? I'm sorry to hear that, but so happy for you on understanding why a prenuptial agreement is very important for a happy and healthy marriage. Do you really want to share everything? What about debt?
We're not sure. We need to talk about that.
Debt's a tough one, and leaving this to chance is pretty risky. We admire your optimism, but perhaps it's best to decide earlier what will happen in the event that debt is racked up by one spouse and not the other. Who's responsible? This one is a little bit personal, but you know me, I'm probably going to ask anyway. Do you plan on having kids one day?
Well, we already have a fur baby, but we're not sure about a human baby.
You have plenty of time to decide, but one thing you should think about with a prenuptial agreement is what will happen if you do have children one day. Will one of you stay home to take care of those kids? And if you do, what does that mean for your career, earning potential, and alimony? Now, the final question. Drum roll. Should you get a prenup?
Yes!